Khamzat Chimaev is the real deal. It's done. It's happened. All the speculation about is he as good as he is he really an X-Man? Is he really superhuman? I think those were answered yesterday. Some people were saying, MMA Joey in particular, that he thought he was going to buzzsaw through Robert Whittaker, but barely anybody was saying that. And more importantly, most professional fighters and UFC fighters were picking Robert Whittaker. I mean, it's insane. If you look back, it was like 30 on James Lynch's channel. It was like 37-6. People picking Robert Whittaker overwhelmingly. Now, the odds makers apparently had it right. Maybe not even correct. Maybe the odds should have been more in favor of Khamzat. Oh, I do want to say, I had so much faith in Khamzat. I put $500 on Khamzat. And I won. You know, the odds were in his favor, so he was favored to win. So I only won like $270, and I normally never bet, but I wanted to do it as a show of faith for my favorite fighter, and he got the job done. Okay, before I go on my rant, Justin, what's your thoughts? I know you did pick Robert Whittaker, as did a lot of people, but now after seeing what happened, seeing the breaking of the jaw, which I don't think has ever happened in the history of the UFC. Maybe it has, but very infrequently. What are your takeaways?
Man, he's the real deal, man. Get in there and do that to Robert Whittaker. You know, I go 0 for 2 on my two big picks of the night, and unfortunately, that's just the way MMA goes sometimes, man. Rob looked ready. Rob looked ready to go, but he wasn't ready for Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat went in there, did exactly what he wanted to do, had his way with Rob, and broke his teeth in his jaw, man. It was brutal, and I'm really looking forward to see what's up for Khamzat next. I was thoroughly impressed between Ilya and Khamzat. And I'm really looking to see what's next for this kid. Sean has already come out and said he's next in line. Khamzat has to sit in the back pedal in the back seat, but I don't know, man. That was a good enough performance to shoot yourself up there for a title shot.
Okay, so I've got a lot that I want to unpack there. Before we jump into what's next for Khamzat and all that, I wanted to get your expert opinion on the scrambles. First of all, on the first shot, which I've seen a bunch of times. I saw Mighty Mouse this morning do an amazing breakdown of that initial shot, in the distance he was away, the quickness of the level change, and how Robert Whittaker, he anticipated the shot. He backed up. And I think if it was anybody else, he wouldn't have gotten that takedown, because Robert Whittaker was on top of it, jumped back, his sprawl was amazing, but like he just barely caught his foot, then got on top of him, immediately got his back. Robert Whittaker did an incredible job. A lot of people have said he did a phenomenal job in the scrambles, getting and almost got away, but he just couldn't, because I think Khamzat's too fast and too quick and too strong. What was your takeaway from the scrambles that you saw between Khamzat and Whittaker?
I mean, in MMA in general, not even just scrambles, it's a game of inches, man. And Khamzat just was always 1 inch in front of Robert. A couple of times I thought he was going to be able to escape, maybe with a wiggle free, and Khamzat said, "No, not today. I took you down, and I'm going to hold you down," and that's exactly what he did.
Is there anybody in the division that you think, what do you think? Does anybody have a chance, a better than 50% chance of beating Khamzat?
Man, I mean, we can't go off one performance. You know, it was an incredible performance, and I'm not going to take it away. But again, I mean, you're fighting at the top of the division. Everybody has a chance. There's nobody that doesn't have a chance. I mean, Gilbert Burns, he definitely had a chance as well, and that was down in weight class. So, Khamzat's going to keep getting better. You know, I keep waiting to see. I can't wait to see what's next for this guy. I think Sean has a chance. I mean, I'm not saying it's a great chance or anything. I don't want to count anybody out, because again, it's fighting, and anything can go in a fight. Whether it's against Khamzat, whether it's against Ilya. But right now, I think Khamzat's red hot. He's going to be glowing with confidence, and it's going to be really hard to beat him. But there are guys that can beat him.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you my thoughts, and obviously, whatever you could call it, biased or whatnot, as I have mentioned many times on the show and in many videos, that he is my favorite fighter. But he's my favorite fighter for a reason. It's because I believed in him from the get-go. Just from what I've seen, I love his mentality. I love his work ethic. Everybody talks about how he's the last guy in the gym. They have to almost kick him out. And that's tremendous to me. And I think now he's putting everything together. He's being smarter about training. And it's just this amazing synergy of just rock solid mentality, amazing physical gifts, combined with the proper supervision and tutelage and all these things that now is just making him into, it's kind of like, he reminds me of Wolverine from the X-Men. It's like just something that is, they're putting together all the pieces into this like super soldier, this super fighter. And now he's here. Everybody I've been listening to is just like Lorosenko. Khamzat is a major problem in this division. She doesn't think anybody can solve it. Mighty Mouse, all these guys. Darren Till yesterday on Ariel Helwani's show said when it comes to, and he knows Khamzat, he's trained with them. Granted, they're boys, and maybe you could say he's biased. He says Khamzat will 100 million% be champion at one point in the UFC. And I think now it's inevitable. And now we got to see what goes down next. I'm going to talk about what I think should be next for Khamzat. You can probably predict. But before we do that, I haven't checked the rankings yet. Have you checked the UFC rankings? I thought we could do it live for fun. Okay, so I haven't checked. Let's do it right now. I want to see where they place them because I think that will tell some interesting stories about maybe what's next. So let's look right now. I have been looking forward to this all weekend. Okay, where is middleweight? Oh, he bumped up to okay. I thought he was going to bump up higher, actually. He bumped up to 3. All right, so fair enough. They still kept Sean at number 1. Okay, so I wonder if that does mean that maybe. Well, I don't know, but the UFC doesn't handle the rankings. That's a collection of other organizations and reporters. So I don't know, but this is what I'm going to say. So today, I'm feeling so excited about the UFC and what's to come in the future of the UFC. I made a purchase today of I already own TKO stock as well as Endeavor stock. So I basically doubled down. I doubled my stock holdings in TKO because I believe in this company so much. And Khamzat, I think, is a big part of that. Now, who catapulted the UFC to its current valuation, right? When they were sold, it was Conor McGregor. It was one fighter. And we see the power and potential of an individual fighter that can really galvanize things and catapult the sport to a new level. And while Ilya is amazing, I don't think it's him that's going to do that. I think it's Khamzat. And I thought it was Khamzat from the beginning. And we all thought that for whatever reason, because of the infrequency in which that he fights. I think he lost some steam. I think he's gotten it back full force. People loved it. He's so exciting. He's so athletically gifted. His potential is unlimited. And he could be the first triple champ, which I said, I think like 6 months ago when I made a video about him before. So I'm excited. And as a shareholder in the company, what I think makes the most sense, okay, for the future of the company, as well as from an equity standpoint, I think you got to get Khamzat in there right away. Let's schedule I know some people are saying, hey, let's let Sean and DDP fight first, and then Khamzat takes the winner. Khamzat's got a title shot one way or the other, but let Sean fight him first, and then let's slide Khamzat in there. I disagree. Khamzat is hot right now. Let's get him in there against DDP. Sean doesn't want the fight in South Africa. Let's do this fight in South Africa. Let's make history. Khamzat wants to do it. Let's see what they can do. I think Khamzat will definitely win. But if he doesn't, fine. Dricus is the man. He stops the boogeyman. Incredible. And then let's let Sean get in there and fight the winner of those two. And then if they don't do the fight, or if Khamzat comes away victorious, they do the fight somewhere else. Maybe if the visa issues get resolved, then Sean can fight him in the US, maybe in Abu Dhabi, something like that. What are your thoughts?
Man, I think either way it goes, whether he gets a title shot right away or secondary, I'm excited for Khamzat. Yeah, absolutely. I could also see, them going through 1 and 2 versus champion and 1, then 2 and 3 and 3 and 4. You have Adesanya, who's right in front of Khamzat. I mean, that's a great matchup too. And then the winner of DDP and Strickland get the winner of Khamzat and Adesanya. Considering that Adesanya was such a great champion for such a long time, Dana White might give him that. But we'll see going forward. I like both ways, man. I think it's a great move to get him in there for a title shot right away, especially after this big win. He's like you said, he's red hot right now. I'd be totally fine with that. I'd be bummed for Sean, obviously, because he's my teammate. But Adesanya's there too, man. And like I said, Adesanya's still ranked above him. I would love to see that matchup as well.
Okay, let's take one more look. I want to look at, by the way, Robert Whittaker's posted a lot. It does sound like he's doing much better. I think he's already undergone surgery. And what I've heard is they repositioned the jaw. The fracture happened here that caused his teeth to push back. They repositioned it. And I heard a doctor say they're probably going to put a plate under here to get it secure. So he is, from what I've heard and from what he's posted and whatnot, he's going to be just fine. But really quick, I just want to look at Robert Whittaker's record. So if you do notice look at his record. The times he has lost, the last time he lost from a TKO was back in 2014 in round 1. Okay, or not from a TKO, but in round 1. The last time he lost was 2014, 10 years ago. And he's got tons and tons of wins, right? He lost to Izzy in round 2. Okay, whatever. That was from a flurry of punches. Dricus in round 2 as well. Round 1, Khamzat Chimaev, 3 minutes. And how many significant strikes landed from Robert Whittaker? 2, I believe. 2 kicks. Low leg kick and something else. And then Khamzat took. I mean, it was just a blowout. So I think, God, dude, who's done that? I just think there's no argument to be made. He's got to go next, and I'm ready for it. So, guys, you're hearing it. My prediction here, I do believe Khamzat will be the future of this company. I think he can do things that nobody else can do. I think he can be a triple champ, as I mentioned in my video 4 or 5 months ago. Let's go. It could be middleweight, welterweight, and light heavyweight. I think he could do middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. Or he could be all 4. I don't know. I think we haven't seen anything like this. It's tremendous. And yeah, I can't wait. So, best fight of the year.